Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this is the video presentation for the final project of Business Record Management subject, which is IMR 652. So for this subject, we are required to create an e-magazine out of the topics from the subject. So I am Nafiqah binti Abdul Rahim, the editor for this magazine. So as you can see, this is the cover page for our magazine. So the title that we choose for our magazine is The World of Business, and the title for this issue is The Story of Business Record Management, which means that this magazine will tell you all about the business record management. So this cover page is created and edited by the editor of this magazine, but of course with the consultations and ideas from the group members. So the group members that are involved in this magazine are, aside from me, we have Ilan Lisa, Fatin Husna and Shahrul Izwan. So let's move to the next page, which is about the magazine. So as I said earlier, this magazine is the final project of Management of Business Record subject, which is IMR 652. So the students that are involved to create this magazine are from KBA 2403A. So this magazine is presented to Dr. Siti Karinisa Syah Abdul Muntalib, our lecturer for this subject. So let's move to the next page. We have editor's note written by the editor of this magazine. And the next page we have contents. So there are 4 articles in this magazine, which is first article, The Insight of Business Record Management, written by Nur Afiqah binti Abdul Rahim, on page 5. And on page 10, we have Is Business Record Management Important, written by Nur Fatin Husna binti Abdul Salam Arif. On page 15, we have The Process of Business Record Management, written by Muhammad Shahrul Izwan bin Abdullah. And the last article for this magazine is The Difference Between Record Management and Document Management, written by Ilan Nurisa binti Hussein on page 20. So let's now move to the first article of the magazine, The Insight of Business Record Management. So in order for the readers to easily understand the meaning of business record management, I include the meaning of each words in the business record management. So we have what is business, what is management, and so on. So let's go straight to business record management. So what is business record management? Business record management is a field of management responsibility for the efficient and systematic control of the creation, maintenance, use, and disposition of business record. So what is business record? Business record are the business information that contains the transaction between 2 or more parties in the form of electronic or paper documents. So it is kept for evidence and reference. So this means that business record management is a vital process to achieve the efficiency, and economy, as well as to preserve the business record. So move to the next page, we have type of business record management. So for type of business record management, there are actually many types of business record management, but in this article, I only put 4 types of business record management that are more known to the readers to understand. So the first type of business record, we have administrative. So administrative are the type of record that are used in the daily operation of a business organization. For example, we have audit reports, organizational chart, and minute of meeting. So the next type of business record management, we have advertising. So these records are created in the process of promoting goods and services for the customers. For example, we have catalogs, brochures, and so on. So the third type of business record management, we have insurance. So insurance are the records that can be used to claim for any damage or loss. For example, we can claim for automobile damage, compensation, accident, or fire, and so on. So the last type of record is sales and marketing business records. So these records are related with the process of selling and buying. For example, we have discount rates, price lists, and so on. So move to the next page, we have type of business organization. So we have 4 types of business organization, which is sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and limited liability corporation. So sole proprietorship is the easiest way to run a business. So it means that a person who owns the business personally bears the responsibility for the business and debts of the business. So for partnership is a contractual agreement between 2 or more parties to operate and share their profits. So both partners share their liabilities and income equally in this business. So the next type of business, we have corporation. So in this type of business, it has the most rights and obligations, and which means that they can enter into contracts, borrow, sue, prosecute, hire staff, and so on. So a company is a separate and autonomous legal entity from the owners. So for the last type of business, we have limited liability corporation. So limited liability corporation is an arrangement where the shareholders are not directly responsible for the debts or liability of the company. So it means that it is limited liability means that it is a hybrid entities, which means that it combines the company's characteristic with other company or the sole ownership. So That is all for this article. Let's move to the next article.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Syarizal bin Abdullah. I am from KBA 240 Today I would like to present my part of the RMR e-magazine. Records as a management is a strategic resource that has divided the systematic management of the records into 4 points: the business system and document, information for analysis, and record management. The entire life cycle since development, which explain the use of the record state where records are produced by management for a business system analysis. The process of the redefinition of the creator. Then the stage is to identify the company priority, disperse and the document share and their access. Training and access to it in order to maintain the record management professionals. Good strategic tools are used at this stage. The record must be start with the good personnel maintained by authorized person and the skill need for the future and be used. Lastly, to be used. Professional record keeping prior to requiring expertise and knowledge must be disposed in order to enter the disposal records that maintain the job and maintain the doctrine. The article that I have chosen is improving the record management in result management that promotes transparency and resource to a business prevention of corruption. That written by Anahi states activities that can support this subsequent, as well as business activities and decision. Justice Brandy stressed the importance of ISO 15489. Not only that, in the case of record management, the idea is to record the guarantee the greatest transparency in a specific life cycle that involve the public admin of records at different stages. For example, when a record management system play a major role as created, it must be complete accordance with the needs to facilitate the well-defined 5 line as easily distributed and reused by the public, accessible to the authorized users. Moreover, the record example of the that has been retained the management should not used for the specified period. It should be used for internal purpose, but it should also provide the basis of to destroy complete the state and where to transparency should be in the federal legislation. The first part of ISO is difficult. Encouraging the proper and filling standardized 15489 is ahead of a number of consistent filling without international standards and creating more work, which is difficult due to reports that provide further guidance and concept techniques and practice for the production, capture and management of records. It includes the subsequent part of the 15489 currently under development, which will provide guidance of the implementation of the record management. In other many respects, the primary responsibility of the record manager is to established by the governing body. Due to job responsibility, managers need to abide the rules and follow the importance of the record from a business perspective. Not even just that, the record manager must be also concerned when designing a responsibility layout that in particular when designing a structure that logically justify the retention schedule. It is more systematic to categorize every piece of information in the file plan. In other section, it should be analyzed how the transparency of the record design can make a significant contribution by addressing the risk of corruption associated with record management, as the current transparency and record management regulations will not incorporate things that are not transparent. In addition, using transparent record management, both record managers and general users in the organization can be organized the same repository in the manner they prefer. The process is transparent because it enables general users to see the layout of their record management in their layout. Hence, with the record with a transparent record management, requirement do not interfere with other business line because transparent record management allows manager to retain control over how information need to be categorized. They will not actively participate in process while record managers still have to control the final indexing, archiving, and disposition of files. In my perspective, in order to prevent corruption, it's necessary to have and provide the specific regulations that involve transparency. The greatest strength when practicing transparent records management functionally enables record managers to develop a pipeline without interference from other departmental lines. Transparency and its impact on the reduction of corruption. As a writer of state corruption is currently considered to be the second biggest unemployment problem. Records management provide an operational basis for the effective transparency in public admin, as it enables the creation of quality documentation of authenticity, reliability, and integrity. Next, records also provide the evidence of compliance with the rules on records, and it guarantees that everything that captured are necessary are available when necessary. It will be difficult to fulfill obligation concerning the transparency and access to public information, as it will be difficult to prevent corruption. This is the due risk that leads to failure and incidents that affect the quality of the information provided.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatin Husna binti Muhammad Abdul Salam Arif. Today I will be presenting about, is business record management important? Eventually, the record management helps to ensure especially that the institutional of record of vital legal value, historical and fiscal value was identified and also preserved. The non-essential record will be discarded through the timely of manner according to established guidelines and also identified regulations. The efficiency of the record management can allow the authorized user to basically and quickly process, share, locate, and also distribute all the records based on the need of the business. The tracking system should be put in the record management so that the record did not go missing. Next is the reason why record management is important. Firstly, because of preservation of the records. The record management process helps especially in control and also the management of the private or important record, as the record management actually help in protecting the records with care. Next is evaluation of the progress. The record management is very important for the organization. This is because it actually helps the organization to evaluate their business progress. Next is facilitation and the comparison. The record management is very important to the organization as it shows the current performance and also the growth of the business. Next is very important for the decision making. Record is basically a memory of the business for the organization. The record management will be very crucial, especially for the future of decision making process that will be taken by the organization. Next is efficiency in the operations. The record management is very important as it helps, especially in providing the information that is required by the organization. Not just that, it can be done with the accuracy and quickly. The record management can actually help in making the office work more effective and efficient. Lastly, as an evidence, record can be acted as an evidence especially for the court in the time of the dispute. So it is very important for the record management to be done as it is important for the settlement of the dispute. Hence, by doing the record management, it can be used and be the proof in the court. Next is the important business records that need to be monitored. Firstly is the purchase record. It is actually all the record of the things that your company or organization purchase or spend money on it. It is including the cash purchases. The record can be in any types. For example, the receipts, the invoices, credit card vouchers, and also the tax invoices. Secondly is the income and sales record. It is important for you to keep the record, especially for your company or organization business. As for the organization, you need to keep the records of the transaction that you made for your business. This is including your record of the sales of your organizational business. Lastly is the financial and the year-end record. This financial record is very important for the organization. This is for the records that need to be managed is including the creditors and debtors list, the stakeholders and also the capital gain tax that is CGT asset. The creditors are the one you owe the money and the debtors is the one who owe you the money. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hi doctor. My name is Ilana Lisa. Okay, my part is I will present the difference between record management and document management. Okay, what is document management? Document management is used to monitor and maintain records that are used in a production. More precisely, it is used to monitor the entire process of paper formation from conception through completion. It formalizes the process of producing records in order to ensure clarity and consistency in all places. Okay, document management is usually based on, firstly, is reduction of records destroys and defile. Second, faster scan and document retrieval. Third, to help manage current records more efficiently. Fourth, improvement and operational productivity in general working procedures. And lastly, higher physical space for holding records, including shelf, boxes, and others. Okay, let's move to next slide, which is what is record management. Record management are historical files which provide proof of existence and are used to show the business existence. Okay, record management include the record management function mentioned above plus first declaration and registration, which is the document is stored in a registry and a unique identifier is located so that it can be handled continuously over its life cycles. Next, access controls. Registration users will be able to access, retrieve, and read the record but will not make any modifications to it. In certain cases, there might be a justification to allow for improvements to the metadata association with the records itself. Okay, for retention rules, the various type of documentation have different criteria on how long they must be kept based on their legal, economic, administrative, or historical importance. For this position, the life cycle of documents record which have no other commercial significance and which are not subject to a legal investigation or any such kind of matter will either be lost or passed to a governing legal body such as national or state archive or a corporate library. Lastly, audit trails. This actually acts as the final documentation of how the document was handled from declaration to disposal. In certain companies, the audit trails themselves are archived that need to be maintained. Okay, last but not least, facts. Both document and record management processes and programs add benefit to enterprise. Document management aims to ensure transparency for the document production process, whilst record management help to ensure accountability for the management of information used to perform the business of the company. So, some corporate information management solution currently have powerful document and record management capabilities. That's all from us. Thank you, Doctor.